Alright, so this is my charting review of my trades today on Monday, April 1st. We made $10,000. Yeah, April Fools, obviously. Let me go into the replay mode, so 9:30. Alright, so going into the day, right, we had, I was bearish. I was definitely bearish on NQ and ES, because this is the chart going today. We break structure on NQ. We break structure to the downside. The 1 hour, well, that's after market opens, but the 1 hour is coming down. So I was really looking for these lows. Right here was my main target. And okay, my drawings come back if I draw. I had this hidden, but that was my main target right down here. So let me just remove drawings. So going into the day, this was what I was looking for price to go into, and then but maybe we like swept the highs first. This was Asia high, and then this was London high. So we ended up coming to take London high, but I was bearish because of this breaking structure to the downside. And yes, we actually had an SMT on the higher time frame. We had taken these highs on in ES. We had taken the all-time highs, and we were breaking structure to the downside on the ES as well. So I was just very bearish. But since it was a Monday, I was kind of like a little bit unsure of what I wanted to see price do. So I knew there was this 30 minute fair value gap, this 30-minute bearish fair value gap that could maybe get tapped to go lower off open. Like I was really just trying to wait. I was gonna be patient off open. So then we get to open, and we just, I mean, when we go to the 1 minute, we literally. So I'll show you the sessions. So we swept London session to like a few ticks, left Asian high, and I was bearish, but this move up on the 1 minute just confused me. I mean, we pumped just straight up 112 points in a few minutes, and I was bearish. So I was like, dude, I might be wrong today. But at the time, let me bring over an ES here. At the time, let's go to ES, 9:30. At the same time that we were taking the highs on ES, which was, let's just say this one's pretty much the same thing. ES opens, and we just sell kind of. So we actually had SMT right here. Going into the day, we had SMT. That's the only like sign before this pump. I mean, just everything got ran. But then we had SMT there, and then now we had a bigger time from SMT, so we didn't take out, because this was the Asia high was 335. So 335 is like here. Ooh, it's over here even. So we didn't take out these highs. So since we were holding price, we swept this high here, couldn't go higher. On ES, it was actually a 30-minute for value gap, bearish, with a massive SMT. So when we had this SMT, I was still bearish on ES as well, and I wanted to see these lows. And then now we have an SMT on the higher time frames and the smaller time frames. So now that we have this SMT bearish, even though I didn't act on it, let's see, does this 30-minute hold? It closes above, but we actually do deliver from this 30-minute, which is pretty cool. 30-minute bearish. I'm trying to look back and see what I could have learned from today's market. 1 hour. Yeah, so the 15-minute and 30-minute. So we actually end up coming and respecting this 15-minute and 30-minute. And then this is where I was just kind of like, okay, we took London high. Maybe we start the reverse now. And I should have been more aware of the S&P here and been more cautious of, look at where NQ is. NQ, when we push all the way to these highs on NQ, we take these highs out, and ES is here holding this 30-minute bearish, just swept this high. We have this low to take out. I mean, this is probably even equilibrium of this this move down. No, but let's see if it is here. Almost reach equilibrium of this move, of this leg down we do. So just like overall, like it looked bearish on ES, but I just wasn't like, I just didn't really understand this massive just pump off open. But it was just pure manipulation, which looking back now I know was just pure manipulation. Sweep the high one more time. Let's see if we even had an internal SMT there. So that was the 940, 946, 940, 940, 946. So we didn't have an SMT even, but we end up displacing through the low here. When do we do it? We're just kind of accumulating after taking the high. Then we displace through the low. Ooh, no we don't, no we don't, no we don't. Okay, so we're just stacking highs and highs and highs, and then boom, we get this fair value gap that opens, and then we start displacing. So now it's like, okay, cool, is this fair value gap going to hold? Are we going to see higher? I wasn't really too sure. I was kind of sketched out with longs and shorts. I just didn't really know what I just didn't know what I was really looking for, to be honest, because it just kind of seems so trappy. 10 candle. So yeah, we start getting this leg down, and we still have this massive imbalance. And now we have an SMT at the low, and I'm like, okay, what if ES takes this low and then NQ just holds? So I was kind of just unsure what to do. I didn't want to take a long or short yet. We go into this 5-minute fair value gap here on NQ or ES. NQ does the same thing, or no, it doesn't yet. We reversed. So at this point in time, I was like, okay. I was kind of looking for this 1 minute fair value gap to break. Let me get rid of this. I was looking for this fair value gap to break and then maybe see higher, because I was expecting maybe Asia high and there's other highs to the left. The 1 minute fair value gap ended up being a gold mine. I think that's like a 2022 model. 1 minute bearish. So this thing ended up holding like a freaking champ. I mean, this thing just dumped. So we instantly just start selling off. So at this point, I should have been able to see the displacement fall through here. I should have been bearish, and then looked for an entry off this 5 minute fair value gap, because I was already bearish. Now we swept the high, we swept liquidity. We had an SMT, we displaced the low, we displaced through a low. We made an imbalance. We had this low here, and then we had lower lows here that I really wanted to see. But I just didn't, I don't know, something about it just didn't feel comfortable, because at the same time, we displaced lower. Same thing, this was a 1 minute fair value gap on ES that held like crazy. It was also 5 minute, so a 5 minute bearish. This thing held crazy. We would leave these lows at like 1024, 1024. That's why, let's see when ES takes the low. So ES takes those lows at 1033. That is right when 33. So we take the lows at the same time that ES is just holding this bigger imbalance, kind of failing to go lower. So it just didn't really, I didn't like any shorts. I could have just shorted this 5 minute fair value gap. That's not how I trade. Maybe this 1 minute. That's not how I trade. But I knew that longs weren't really going to happen for a while. And then the market just sells like completely off, leaves these equal lows. I'm looking for longs, because when the market moves down a big amount, you can get at least a retracement play. So now I'm looking for shorts, but I knew that these lows were going to get taken just because it's too obvious. And we hold this fair value gap. I think that was we didn't hold a 5 minute. We hold a 3 minute fair value gap and dump lower, finally take out the lows. So at this point, I'm trying to find any reason to be bullish. I want to be bullish because now we've both taken the lows. And then here, I think my first idea was this 2 minute fair value gap the long this. If it broke, I would long it. And what do we get? We hold it, we hold it, we hold it, don't break it, and then we push lower, and then we take out more liquidity. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's the target I was looking for. I was bearish going into the day, but it just tripped me up, making a big pump, and then having this massive imbalance. I didn't see anything clean. There's no inverse I could take on the downside, but it is what it is. I stayed out of the market, and then we didn't get any reversal play, and then now we take these lows. So now I could have looked at this, or now I was looking at this, and I wanted to take a trade. So I was just like, okay, cool. How can I take a trade here? Boom, this 3-minute opened up. We inversed this. So this was my first trade of the day. We inversed this fair value gap. And I was going break even off of this high here. So off this little internal high, I had my stops go to break even just because it should just reverse after a big move down. It should get a movement up. My first TP was up here. So my first take profit would have been here, and then my third take profit would have been this high, or my second take profit would have been this high. Obviously we never end up taking it. That would be my take profit, break even. So we get to the break even point. We get break even after entering down here. And then the market kind of chops, holds this 1 minute sort of. And then when we get this push up through these highs, I now move my stop to this low just to bank in a little bit of profit because I knew it shouldn't come back down. Instantly comes down, stops me out. Cool, a little bit of profit. Just took 2 micros anyways. So I wasn't really too concerned because, again, it's lower probability. We took the objective for the day, which is the low, and then I was trying to play a counter trend, so you got to be a little bit more likely. You got to be a little more expecting to get taken out break even. So that was the first idea, and then now I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just see what happens here. The second trade was a mistake. So the second trade I see we take, because I was expecting bullish price. So we hit this 3-minute fair value gap here. We hit the 3-minute. We take out this little internal low, and then I see this 1 minute. I'm like, cool. If this thing breaks, I'm along it, and I'm gonna do stops to break even here. Same take profits. I was like, okay, cool. I'm ready for this. Looking back, this is just not a good trade because one, it breaks here, and this is just not a good entry because you're risking a lot of points just to go to break even, like 10 points higher, and it could just stop you out for break even. So you're really not going to gain much on this trade. And it's also just too zoomed in. Like this fair value gap means absolutely nothing. Like I might as well just bought here. Because this fair value gap means nothing. We didn't take any low. We don't have an SMT. We don't have any real reason for price to move. We just took out the lows. This is a bad trade. I end up losing just pretty brutally. I mean, this thing just stopped me out for like 60 bucks. 2 micros again because I didn't really feel that trade. I don't know why I took it. But anyways, on the 5-minute, we end up making another fair value gap. So my third and final trade was if there was no displacement through the low, I would take a inverse fair value gap of this 5-minute. If this 5-minute broke, I would take the trade because I was still bullish. I was expecting a bounce. But now we had a little bit more structure, a little bit more liquidity generated. So now we had a little liquidity grab. The lows get taken out. So I was like, okay, cool. This now, at least, we have a little bit of manipulation. We're failing to displace. We barely go below this low. I mean, we do here, but we displaced very, very little after this move. And then now I'm thinking about taking a trade when the 5-minute breaks. And then break even here. And same take profits. Or break even here. Same take profits, whatever. So that was kind of the idea going into this. Trade. That was the plan. So we go back to the 5-minute. The 5-minute ends up closing above. So I instantly jump in with 5 micros because now I thought we finally had a good setup. I moved my stop at the beginning to there. First target was 38 points. The last target would have been 60. So we go to the lower time frame here. Here, this is when we close on the 5-minute, so we close there. I'm thinking, cool, I'm waiting for everything else to close to get more confirmation. We close on the 3 minute, so we have a 3 minute inverse now. It's looking good. And we move pretty good. I end up getting out all here for a small gain after my first loss. I got out early, that's a mistake, but just so we see the trade play out. It kind of stalls, never really goes back to my break even. I could have taken my first profits there. But then, or I could have taken all my profits at this high, which would have been 37 points. Let's see if it gets there. It does get there, so that would have been 37 points. That would have been really nice. That would have been $370 if I held full profits. But this trade is a lot better than this trade, and for a lot of reasons. One, this is the first move, and the first move always gets manipulated. This trade is just horrible, and then this trade we finally get lack of displacement, counter trend, fair value gap break even point, take profit set, boom. All the stuff you want to see. That was a good trade. So that was the trades I took. I'm not going to be trading anymore. Up around 80 on the day. The count is now from 50,000 to 50,180. Really looking to have a solid day eventually. I haven't had a real good winning trade yet, and this one could have been a real good winning trade. I just got out early again. So that's the trade recap and why I took the trades. And let's see where we're at now in the market. Let's see if we would have ran full TPs. So we would have hit TP1, and then we'd be reversing. So if we took TP1, let's say we took all 3 off, so that's like 40 times 3, 120, been like $200 something. So I would have made more, but we'd probably get stopped down the rest of break even, which is fine because that's just what the market does sometimes. So those are the trades. And now, if I'm going to be honest, like, we'll go back and see what I could have done better. Okay, so going into the day, my bias of bearish was pretty good. I think I got a little bit freaked out by just a big pump off open, but that was kind of what I needed to see because I normally like to see a little manipulation between ES and NQ to then go run to my bias. But that's fine. I like my patience to not trade, not forcing. What I could have done better is at the lows here, I could have been a little bit less eager to just take a trade. And then here, again, I got out of my trade too early. I got out of my trade completely early, and I should at least taken profits here. Anywhere rather than where I did would have been better. So I need to work continuously on my psychology of when I'm in a trade. I need to not worry about if it comes down and stops me at break even, or if it stops me at for a loss if it was profitable. Because I just need to be confident with my setup, confident with the risk reward. Because no matter what you trade, it doesn't matter what your edge is. If you just have a good risk and you have a good take profit and you know how to hold your trades and you have a good win rate, then you'll be profitable. You could flip a coin and be profitable and do better than what I do because it's just risk management psychology. So my edge is performing every single day, day in, day out. I'm seeing good trades. I'm taking good trades, but I just need to capitalize. Like I got in at 50, and at the peak, it was almost 40 points. It was 40 points. Like I just need to start capitalizing on these 40-point moves, 50-point moves, 60-point moves I see, so that when I lose 10 points, 20 points, 15 points, 25 points, whatever I lose, it covers my losses. And then if I win 70% of the trades, 80% of the trades, whatever I win, then it covers my losses. So I can't be afraid of when I get into a trade of it losing, because that loss would just be, that's just part of the loss, part of the 30% of the losing trades I take. So I just got to get better with that, which is something I've known I have to get better at, and it'll just take time. I'm just going to work on it every day and focus on it and really put my mind to being like, okay, I'm not going to move early. I think I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with losing. I think it's just when my trade's in profit that I struggle to hold. I struggle to hold when my trade's in decent profit. I struggle to hold my stop loss and not move it or not get out early because I'm afraid of being stopped for break even. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, if I'm up right now, it's like, it kind of sucks to get break even stop, so let me just get out here for a good profit. Or if my stop isn't at break even yet, it's like, oh, I'm up pretty good here, but I'm not really trying to get out for a loss. So then you just get out early. So I just need to fix that, my psychology. But overall today, again, reinforce the idea that when the objective, so what would be the objective? This high or these lows was the objective going into the day. Some days you don't even have this clean of an objective, but these were the highs, or maybe even this high. So going into the day, once one of these gets taken, you can expect bad price action. when this low gets taken, I missed this move down, I should have been looking for shorts. After I missed the shorts, I should have been honest with myself and been like, look, I don't need to force a trade to rebalance, because that's all this trade was. It was a good long, but it was just the rebalance price. I should have looked at myself and honestly been like, you know what? I missed the real move today. I need to not just be looking for a rebalance trade to make a quick profit, which is what I could have done better, and what I need to continuously learn from. Because when we take the low, I know when you take the objective, you might as well step away. But it's me not having anything else to do, and me trying to just trade and trying to get better and wanting to watch the charts that is going to hold me back in the long run. If when I see the objective and I didn't get in shorts, or I didn't look for shorts here for whatever reason, I need to say, cool, we took the objective, market did what it was supposed to do, let me step away. But I didn't do that, and we learned from it. So today, overall, pretty good day. Disappointed with how I managed the trade, but overall, pretty clean day. Price moved a lot. I didn't really get any fun moves, but at the end of the day, that's it. That is what it is. It's just another day trading, another day in the office, and learn from it and keep doing better. So, that's the charting session.